Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to the Daily Space Weather. I'm your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash-a-Mash, coming at you from the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. We've got an interesting coronal mass ejection. Some conjecture as to whether or not it's Earth-directed. And more coming at you today. So you can see this filamentary eruption here. It's coming from sunspot 2939 down here in the southern hemisphere. Interesting thing about this coronal mass ejection is that you can see a clockwise rotation. You're going to see this thing rotate clockwise if you keep an eye on it. And when I say eye on, pardon the pun, you see a clockwise rotation as that filament exits the solar corona. One last time. Watch for the clockwise rotation. And shout out to Dr. Erica Palmiero. Pardon my mispronunciation. Next, we're looking at the colorized magnetogram here. That was 304 angstroms from the SDO. This is the magnetogram from the SDO. And of the major sunspot groups, there are three. They remained mostly stable. We've got a new group forming here in the southeast. This area down here is now a sunspot. The rest of these very large groups remained, again, mostly stable. The most likely place to see major flares is from sunspot 2941, this one up here in the northeast. And here's a close-up of this filamentary eruption. It should be spectacular. We'll let it play through a couple times here. It's the last 24 hours. Back to ionized helium, 304 angstroms. I am told that these clockwise rotations are more likely to occur in coronal mass ejections emanating from the southern hemisphere. It all has to do with polarity. And make sure you watch a future video. We'll be putting out 2 more daily space weather videos today. Make sure you watch our bonus feature segment. We'll be talking about this a little bit more in that. The radial flux has dropped down to 124 solar flux units. Here's the 1-year chart of that. It's the black line is the radial flux. You can see solar cycle 25 ramping up with higher lows and higher highs. And here's a space weather enthusiast dashboard to show a forecast for geomagnetic unrest late in the day on the 9th. So on Wednesday, late in the day, universal time, we can expect some geomagnetic unrest, some auroras being kicked up, and so on. It must be from coronal mass, from coronal hole wind streams, as we don't see a modeling of the coronal mass ejection yet. Some people think it's Earth-directed, some people don't. You'll have to watch a future video about that. Let's move on to global seismicity real quick. Here's the past 90 days. We're seeing a little bit of a 7+ magnitude earthquake drought. By the way, those end in large earthquakes. And keep in mind, any earthquake can be a foreshock. We saw some come in while we did show prep here. Looks like no major quakes over the past 24 hours. We're just going to scroll up the list here. If we leave anything out, let us know in the comments. Are you an earthquake forecaster? Let us know how you do it. Do you use statistical analysis? What means do you have to forecast earthquakes if you claim to be doing so? Next. So there was a 5.3 at Chile. That was a deep quake at over 103 kilometers depth. We saw 2 come in here in pretty rapid succession while we did show prep. A series of 4s and 5s happened here, including this 5.0 near Fiji, a 5.2 at the South Sandwich Islands, and this 5.2 at Taiwan. Those happening only about 20 minutes apart from each other. So 2 5.2s happening there. One in the South Atlantic and one in the West Pacific. Let's move on to volcanoes. Turrialba now showing up back on the list. First, Samisa-Pochnoi seems to be erupting on the Aleutian Islands. No idea of the volcanic ash plume size there. Fuego exploding, 15,000-foot ash plume over Guatemala from Fuego. So Turrialba, which tends to be a pretty violent volcano in my experience. A little phreatic explosion there. Only a small ash plume created from that eruption at Turrialba. Sangay exploding in a more spectacular fashion than that. 20,000-foot ash plume over Ecuador from Sangay. 15,000-foot ash plume over Ecuador from Ravenador, as it also explodes. Flight level 150. Sabancaya, continuous ash emissions. Please don't pole vault the caldera. To quote Winston Churchill, if you're going through hell, keep going. Now, America leads the way in many different things, such as patents. The globe's largest economy. I know, you're going to say China now has a larger economy than the U.S. Don't worry, folks. China's not going to uproot America as far as at least the most important economy. In other words, China is not what you would call nimble. Anyway, make America not suck again. It's up to you. Lead the way, all of you American viewers. Pick up some merch. Tell your friends and foes that it's up to them to make America not suck again. And in many ways, it's up to America to make Earth not suck again. We've got products with the Make Earth Not Suck Again Mensa logo on them as well. So make sure you check that out. It's the official merch of the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. Also, don't forget to check out our websites. You can find links below the video to smashamash.com. Welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. If you want to see what we're up to, there's some of it. Thanks to the Smash team for increasing the likelihood that these videos will continue to exist and remain publicly visible. Smashamash.com/Smash team. We replaced Patreon with a superior website. There's a teaser as to what you can expect, especially if you're a paying gold or silver subscriber. This marks the end of our first of 3 daily space weather videos for the day. In the meantime, I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash-O-Mash, signing off from the Smash News Network, least busted name in news.